Hello everyone, this is Anita. Welcome back to the machine learning video lecture series. In this video, we will learn decision tree algorithm, construction of the decision tree and attribute selection criteria. So let's get started. So here, decision tree algorithm begin the tree with the root node say yes, which contain the complete data set, and then we are selecting the best attribute using the attribute selection measure for the splitting purpose, then making that attribute a decision node and break the data set into the smaller subset. We are start building the tree by repeating this process recursively for each child until one of the condition will match. So first condition is all the tuple belonging to the same attribute value. Second one, there are no more remaining attribute, and the third, there are no more instances. So here you can see the construction of the decision tree. It uses the top-down approach, or it uses the recursive divide and conquer strategy. So here we will be starting with the root node. So selecting the attribute for the root node, then creating the branch for each possible attribute value, then splitting the instances into the subset, one for each branch extending from the node. Then repeat the recursively for each branch using only instances that reach the branch. And finally, stop if all the instances have the same class. So to understand the construction of the decision tree, here we have taken one data set, which is the weather data set. So this data set containing some features as weather, temperature, humidity, wind are the independent feature, and play is a dependent feature having yes and no value. So this is a classification kind of problem, and we want to predict that whether person is going to play or not. So we will see how to construct a decision tree based on this data set. So here the first we want to choose the attribute, or like which attribute to select. So whether we should select the weather, or we should select the humidity, or we should select the wind or the temperature. So how to take that decision? Which attribute to select as a root node. So for that, the attribute selection measure is a technique used for selecting the best attribute for the root node and for the subnode. So two popular attribute selection measure techniques are there. The first is used for checking the purity split. So in this, again two are there, the entropy and the Gini impurity. So these two techniques we will be using for checking the purity split. And the second one is the information gain. So that we will be using for future splitting, or on which feature the decision tree split. So for that we will be using the information gain. So continuing with this example, we want to choose the best attribute. So to decide how to choose the best attribute, we need here purest node. So how to find the purest node or the pure split? So that we will understand with this example. So here for this particular data set, we have this decision tree, and consider for whether we are getting the 5 yes and 5 no values, and for sunny we are having 1 yes and 2 no values. If weather is cloudy, we are getting 3 yes and 0 no values, and if it is a rainy, we are having 1 yes and 3 no values. So now you can see that here, if the weather is cloudy, the person must go to the play. So here we are getting 3 yes and 0 no values. That means it is a leaf node, or we can say it is a pure split. So why it is a pure split? Because this is not divided further. Or here we are getting either all yes or all no values. So that's why it is a pure split, or it is a leaf node. So it is not further divided more. Now, if the weather is sunny, so this here we are getting 1 yes and 2 no. So this is a impure split. So again we are taking the another feature, and based on that we are dividing or the splitting the decision tree. Again here if the weather is rainy, again this is a impure split and we are dividing the tree or splitting the tree by considering the another feature. So here you can see that if the sunny we have considered humidity as a feature, and if it is rainy we have considered wind as another feature, and then the steps goes on. Now you can see the splitting stop when the data can't be split any further or we are reaching to the leaf node. So that time we will be stopping our construction of the decision tree. Now here which attribute to select as a final attribute. So we have selected weather as a final attribute. So why? Because this weather is giving the more information gain, or this is the purest node. So that's why we will be keeping this weather as a root node, and for other we are discarding. So here humidity, temperature and wind we are not considering as a root node. So this is our final decision tree considering weather as a root node. Now similarly, for understanding the attribute selection criteria, we will be taking the another example. So here we want to build a decision tree to determine whether the person will get a job or not based on the year of experience and the degree. And based on that, we will be checking that the person is getting place or not. So this is a sample generated data set for example understanding purpose. Now, for this data set, as a normal, if we give this data to the normal person, so in his mind, he will be generating the decision tree. But we will see how we can generate a decision tree with the decision tree concept. So here we will be having the two features. One is the year of experience and the second one is the degree. So how to select which attribute use as a root node. So here you can see for selecting the ordering of the feature, we want to select the like should we select the degree or should we select the experience as a feature. So here first you can see on the left hand side we have selected degree as a root node, and based on that the decision tree is constructed. And on the right hand side we have considered experience as a root node, and based on that the decision tree is constructed. So here you can see if the person is having the bachelor degree and experience is greater than 2 years, so we will be getting 2 place value and 2 non-place value. And if the person is having master degree and experience less than 2 years, we will be getting 3 yes value and 1 no value. And on right hand side, if the experience is greater than 2 years and the person if yes, and if the person is master, then we will be getting 4 yes and 0 no. And if the experience is greater than 2 years, if no, and the person is having bachelor degree, then we will be getting 1 yes and 3 no value or not place value. So here if we calculate the entropy, information gain and Gini impurity of the left side decision tree, so we will be getting the high entropy, because here you can see both the node is the impure node, or both splitting is the impure splitting, and because of that we are getting the low information gain and high impurity. And on right hand side you can see if the experience is greater than 2, if yes, and person is having master degree, then we are getting all value as a place value and 0 no value. So that time here we are reaching to the leaf node or the pure split, and if the split is pure, then that time we are getting the low entropy value, and we are saying we are getting the high information gain. So the feature which is giving the high information gain, so that feature we will be selecting as a final root node, and based on that we will be doing the splitting. So here we will be considering experience as a root node, and based on that splitting will done and the decision tree is constructed. So these are the references that I have used. So in the next video, we will see how to calculate that entropy, information gain and gain impurity. Thank you.